And if you deny them the privilege of the growth that a struggle brings, you will destroy your children. You know, there was a book that I read called The Ultimate Gift. And I know, it got made into a movie. Now, I'm not sure if it was a movie that was kind of like launched in cinemas around the world, but it was a movie nonetheless, because I watched it on a DVD called The Ultimate Gift. And it was a very valuable lesson. And the book actually is a really good book to read. And it basically goes around this concept of someone very wealthy passed on. And you know the story, of course, as you see it so often in movies. Everybody gets together with the lawyers and they're waiting to hear the will of their grandfather or grandmother or whatever the case is, or who had all this money and success. And often these kids or grandkids were never actually even close to the grandfather or mother, but now they all want a piece of the pie, right? We see that all the time. It's the kind of thing in the movies. And so, of course, everybody got around the table, and then, of course, the lawyer, of course, read the will, and I don't remember all the details, but the point is, and everybody felt like they were cheated, like they got so little, and yet their grandfather was so wealthy. And then, the one grandson, if I remember correctly, the grandfather, instead of leaving wealth for the person, left him lessons where he had to go and work on the farm and go put poles on the farm and do different things, basically. Different things he had to go do. And he had to go meet this person and do certain types of work for that person, and then do something else and do something else. And he had to report, and he knew nothing. He didn't know what the ultimate result of all of this would be. It was just his grandfather's wish and his will for him to be able to do these things. So it's not as if the lawyer said, you know, by the way, if you do this, you'll get this. No. So this youngster many times wanted to give up because it was sometimes intense labor-intensive work, or it challenged his character, it challenged his thinking, it challenged his mindset, it challenged so many aspects of his life. When he just wanted the money. He just wanted his grandfather in the world to say, well, my grandson gets so many millions, or whatever the case is. But he thought he was getting nothing from his grandfather, and he couldn't understand why this old man who passed on, wrote in his will and wanted him to learn all these lessons. But anyway, he started off very begrudgingly hating the process. And over time, you see it unfold in the book and in the movie, where he started at least valuing some of the experiences. I'm not saying loving it, but just valuing it. Started realizing, oh, there might be some value in these experiences that I'm having, that my grandfather put out for me to have. And then it comes to the end, where, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but you understand the concept, when he finishes the process after a long time, he does inherit almost everything. But his grandfather knew that if he had given it to him up front, he would have destroyed himself. And I choose my words carefully. Hear me. I didn't say it would have destroyed him. I said he would have destroyed himself with it. Too many of us blame something else for our destruction. We say, oh, the money destroyed me. We say the money destroyed that person. No, the money did nothing. That person destroyed themselves using the money. So this youngster would have destroyed himself using the business, the money, whatever the case is, the influence, whatever. But his grandfather knew, the wisdom was it. He needed to learn all that. So the ultimate gift. And basically you realize as watching the movie unfold and read the book unfold, you understand that the ultimate gift was not the money. Yes, he got all of that. But it wasn't the money. The ultimate gift was everything he learned in the process. Like we say, right? Success is not the destination, isn't it? It's the journey. Anybody who's built true success or significance in life knows that to be true. The destination often is the reward for the success. But the true success is who you become on the journey. That's the true success. Too many people who wallow around in mediocrity, often they just want the destination because they think that represents success. No, that's the reward for the journey. The true success is who you become in the journey. The struggles, the growth, the development, the overcoming is the true success. So remember, legacy is not what you leave, it's what you live. Be very, very, very careful about whether you're only focused on leaving things rather than leaving values. Best case scenario, leave both. But if you had a choice, and if you were to choose one or the other, I would always go for the values more than the things. Because the values make it more possible for people to achieve and acquire the things. But having the things does not in any way guarantee developing the values.